All right, you guys, I really hope that you can hear me. This is the Pretty Coach. The Pretty Coach Oracle's here. This is Jude. And I am coming to do a reading for the collective. I wanted to say a general reading for the collective, but there is nothing general about this reading. I do want to say that this is like for a specific group of people. I think that when this message comes forth and begins to unfold, um, only those who will remain are going to be those who really understand what I'm talking about here. So, without further ado, that was the brief introduction. I'm about to go ahead and get into this reading, you guys. I'm going to change the lighting a little bit, but I'm going to get into the reading. All right, so before I move forward, thank you, Holy Spirit of Wisdom, for this opportunity to serve your people at this time. Your will be done through this reading. Y'all already know what I asked y'all, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say, ancestors, go off. So, that is the prayer. So be it. Let me go grab something really quickly and see if this helps a lot. All right, you guys, I am back. Let's go ahead and hop into this reading. So, in my oracle deck, as I was preparing and I was asking, all right, so it is stopped on 214, by the way, so that might be significant, guys, that day. What I was saying was um, the energy that is overshadowing and enveloping, protecting, guiding, and covering this particular reading's energy is it's the Hebrew letter Samek. Samek. All right, and it is the word is thorn, thorn, and it is symbolic of protection, of holding something up, or of support. So the numeric value assigned to this particular card is the number 60. I'm going to stop trying to show y'all stuff because I see that you can't see that clearly. Now, immediately what I got was that it was time to support and protect and hold up. So the next messages that actually came out of the deck in response to the energy surrounding us, we had the first card was Wa or Va. Why am I showing you guys that? It represents the tent peg. And this card means secure, hook, add. Yeah. So there is an additional quality here. Um, when I say additional, and adding to as a part of making secure. The word hook, for me, it could deal with attracting something, magnetizing something to oneself. Hook, ensnare, even catch or capture. So, yeah, this was an energy of, okay. So, yeah, that's that before I move on and give all of it away. The next card was, I'm still showing you guys, it was the Aleph, and it is symbolic of an ox head, which represents power, strength, and leaders. So, already a message that is formulating when we include the overall energy plus these two messages that we have so far, it is about protection, upholding, supporting, um, securing, hooking, adding, and which is a connector word. So connecting, power, strength, leaders. Keep on moving because I'm already being long-winded. And the last and final card that came out in showing us the signs of the times with this reading is the letter Kof. It is the sun at the horizon, time, circle, condense. So the message that I got, the most powerful message that came to me, baby, was that, oh, okay, so it's time for the leaders to come together for protection, for support, for holding. Okay. I said that wrong, but there's a beautiful message there. It's to me the overall message that I got, the main idea of this entire reading, which will be the paragraph in the essay, is that it is now time for the leaders to come together for the purpose of protection, holding, upholding, um, and support, and as well as for security or securing, attracting, addition, and connecting. Okay, so let's get on into it some more. More of my oracle card energy that I pulled. The next deck I was led to pull from is a moon deck. It's connected to the phases of the moon. So the overall energy of this deck, first card out, it was the Scorpio. Now it was in reversal. So I don't, this card deck doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, um, go for reversals, but with it being reversed, I know that it means Scorpio deals with eighth house energy, which is about marriages, contracts, inheritances, ancestral anything, ancestral anything. Okay, it talks about joint resources, right? Um, it talks about the elders. It talks about children, sexuality, as far as birth and rebirth, creation and destruction, death is also connected to the Scorpio energy. So this also talks about the cycle and the circle of life. Remember, the sun, that card also for me is it got heavy karma, which is Saturnine energy, heavy on the awakenings and tower moment energy, heavy on the it is time. So destiny, fate, because we know that the sun is a timekeeper, just like the moon is. All right, so moving on, let's read what it says on the Scorpio card. Now, in the reverse, let me, before I move on, in the reverse, I will say that this is probably talking about maybe the loss of this or the disconnecting, right, of people, places, things, and ideas that were connected to resources, inheritances, marriages. So there are going to be divorces coming up, okay, separations, where it is ending a particular period that may have included another person, okay? Now, here's what it says: negative attitudes and fiery arguments are possible at this time. Channel your energies, though, into positive physical activities like decorating or gardening. So that's what some of us could be doing now, or that bare minimum that's been coming up in your psyche. Hmm. Oh my God. The owl is the next card we have here. It is called the Moon Totem Owl. A crisis will allow you to look into yourself and make an important revelation. That word crisis is pretty strong, it's powerful there. And crisis is going to, it's still a relative word or it's still subjective, subject to the understanding of my listeners, my viewers, okay? So, however you view the word crises is what might come up for you first. I would say pay attention to the things that are either already currently happening right now or are about to. I do feel big time though that maybe energetically you can really, really feel this already. Scorpio is a very psychic energy. Scorpio feels everything deeply. So, with that being said, I suspect that it's possible you have already been suspecting this energy, and it could be for a very long time. Okay. Eighth house energy is also very slow moving to me. This is um this is something that could have taken 8 years. Okay. Moving on. Last and final energy encompassing the card that's about to come out is the waxing moon. Okay. It says now is a good time to focus on achieving your own personal goals. So that word focus and precision is also very much so Scorpio energy. Out of the water signs, these can be some of the most precise and exacting people. Okay. So, and energies for that matter. So, with it being in reverse, it's possible that some of us were not focused on some things that we should have been focusing on. Maybe the focus should have been ourselves, and maybe that it wasn't. Now, reversals can also mean the completion of an energy. So it's possible that negative arguments and things have already resolved or they've already been ending somehow in our energy, okay? We ain't been arguing like that no more because um, of whatever deep reflective energy we have been putting on over ourselves, okay? So that was the energy. This is the main card, the waning moon. It says, let go of that which is causing you inner turmoil. Okay. That's another way that that reversal Scorpio energy could have been read. Instead of it being external, it was internal. Take that as it resonates for you. Okay. Now is a time for casting away emotions that are no longer serving you. Baby, listen, already, I'm telling y'all now that what I'm seeing big time is that there are things, experiences that many of us who are connected to this reading, we are having, and the whole purpose and the point is to rid us of anything that I think would honestly prohibit this major transformation. Because that's another thing that Scorpio energy is connected to. It's about change, it is about rebirth, it is about um, someone else, something else being born, being regenerated, also. The concept of regeneration. My God, that's so important because I woke up out of my sleep this rising with the word regeneration on my mind. Literally seeing the mummy, literally seeing Anaxunyaman when she came together after being resurrected. So there is something about the dead coming to life with this reading, you guys. Oh my God. Thank you, Holy Spirit of Wisdom, for even bringing that back to my memory. Okay. Because on that same theme, Spirit was, I was just getting all these messages about, I was going to say messages, that was a weird accent, but I was getting all these messages about regeneration and how regeneration has always been a very real truth that many ancient practices and faiths and people were aware of. Even those that we get Christianity from, which now Christianity, some people, maybe not all, but I do think it's still an overwhelming majority of people apparently don't even believe that in all the ways that regeneration happens, the words that have been used, reincarnation. People don't believe in reincarnation, especially those who have grown up deeply Christianized, even though they do believe in it because it's in the scriptures, it's in the Bible. Um, Even when they're depicting the idol of Christ or, you know, the deity of Christ, Christ was reborn. Christ was regenerated. Christ is said to be alive again within us energetically. And while a lot of this is symbolism, a lot of times it is also real. It is also real. I have read other apocryphal books that also talk about the concept of regeneration, like the idea that you can come back to the body that you lived in before. Now, because I also happen to believe in us experiencing multiple lifetimes and lifestyles, obviously I would wonder, okay, well, which one do you go back to? But that's neither here nor there. The fact that it exists, that it is real, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's important. Because I feel like that's why the mummy energy came back to me. I was reminded how Egypt didn't have that information first. The Hebrews had that first. Now, Egypt was the first major world known power and worldwide power. But before Egypt, there were just the people of these particular regions who grouped together. They banded together. They were confederate with one another. And treaties and contracts were entered in and out of at will, as people broke stuff and or if they upheld it, as people were treacherous to one another. I digress. The Hebraic people, namely those of Shem, the reputation of God, those who had the reputation of keeping peace, of keeping order and maintaining both spiritual and natural order in life and bringing good, peace and goodwill towards men and women together. These people were the keepers of this information. There was a struggle, a war, where that information also was then, it was a treasure. So it was taken as booty, um, as bounty from them. And then it was utilized to build what we now know as Egypt, which a lot of people see as the world's first, you know, civil and confederate nation built. And for all intents and purposes, it was. So moving on. But the Shemites had this information originally, and they were the ones um, called to hold it, to protect it, to keep it. All right. So with that being said, this is all going to that Samic energy. These were the priests of the world. These were the high priestesses of the world, the kings and queens. Moving on. So this idea of regeneration, even the information coming back, all of that has also really been what people would call as Christian, even though they shun it. They talk against it right now in error, in ignorance. But that was on purpose. So we can't totally fault them, but sometimes it is so hard not to. Moving on into more of the Oracle deck. This is about the love thing. We have the heart shaped cards. I love these. The overall energy is this. It says, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do. For it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So for some of us, we have been people pleasers. For some of us, we want so strongly to be right and to not hurt people's feelings because one, we don't like our feelings hurt. We've had that experience before. It didn't feel good. So we never want to be the one in the seat of villainy, right? We never want to be the villain in someone's story. Not all of us. There are some of us who have overcome that lesson. And so we are detached. We are aware, first and foremost, enough to know that, hey, we all have certain roles that we play in certain acts of life, certain cycles and seasons of life. There's that circle, there's that karma, there's that fate element, that destiny element, and they all serve their purpose, right? So there are some of us who we can actively in our energy say that we're okay, actually good with if that's what we have to play, if that's the role we have to play. That helps people ascend, that helps people um, into whatever role they are meant to play in that season of their lives. And so we're okay with it and detached enough to know, hey, it's okay if you view me as I'm the devil. When all I know is that, I've been honest with myself, I have been honest with you, and that's all that I can do. That's the best that I can do. Then it's okay if another person misinterprets us. For others of us, we have not learned that lesson yet. And so we have been holding on to people, places, things, and ideas for fear of letting go of something that's significantly important for us on account of other people. That's other people think we should be doing, right? And not what in our core, what as we begin to learn more and more about ourselves, what we are finding to be true. And if that is in opposition with one another, inner truth, opposition with the outer truth, and with what apparently people that we give credence to, that we give power over us, stand with in agreement. We might be prone to keep some things to ourselves, or we might be prone to not move, to not act if we feel that the expense is going to be far greater and that it'll be hard for us to live our lives the way that seems true for us. Yeah, man, we'll sit there at the other job, in the old life, in the old position, in the former position, all because, and we'll call it admirable, but it's really not. It is betrayal. First of the self, but then of other people, because you are lying. Moving on, 2035 was there on the clock in 2039. So the first messages that came out is trust. It says transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, then it will automatically transform. I feel like spirit has been having me to practice being in that energy of trusting, but most importantly, being honest with myself. Um, I think, I think I've been practicing honesty with myself. I still gotta, go back and check on that, but I do feel that I've been called to practice it. I've been called to become cognizant of it. I have been called to become aware. And that is the most important thing because I think sometimes that's why we're ignorant, right? 21, 21. That's why we're ignorant sometimes because we are simply unaware. It's not that the information isn't permeating in our psyche somewhere. It's not that it's not in our body. It's not that we didn't feel it. It's not that we didn't know. It was that we were unaware of what we were experiencing. We were unaware of, oh, so that's what that ringing in my ear was about. Oh, so that was what that flutter in my belly was about. So when I heard that phrase, without me necessarily thinking about any particular thing, that's what that was about. Oh, when I thought about that person, that thing, that idea in that present moment, that was what that was. So becoming aware of the intel that we have always had. Now, when you miss it, there are certain things that have to continue to happen over and over and over, really like clockwork. There's that concept of time again. Has to happen so that at some point, ding, you will wake up and recognize that this has been happening the whole entire time. And oh my God, I was missing it. Once your eyes are open though to it, you can never unsee it. And this transformation will happen because it has to. That's the whole point. The whole point is the awakening to the information. The whole point is the awakening to the assignment, even for some of us. Okay. Moving on, beware of what you are projecting. For the qualities that you admire in one another are qualities that you both possess. Equally so, qualities that you don't like are also your own reflection. So let me tell you how I feel like what spirit has been doing in this season, in this hour for those who are connected to the energy of this message, baby. What I feel spirit has been doing is they've been showing you this about yourself. They've been showing you this. They have been revealing to you that every connection that you have been in up until this point, honey, it was about you. It was about you in every way, the good ways, the positive ways, honey, and the ones that you didn't like. Because you was like, oh, I don't like that. I don't have no parts to do with that. You already did. Not everyone, right? Not all of us, but I still would say yes to all of us. And I'll say this because even if you weren't in the energy anymore at the times that you experienced it being given to you or reflected back to you, you had been in the energy before at one time, whether it was this lifetime or another. You've done the thing already before. You have. And you may have learned lessons. Or and now in the season that you were in, maybe you were being tested on how you're meant to respond energetically, what your soul's law is. Which for some of us, like there's this way that we're gonna be the same if you're from the same energetic body, if you're from the same constellation, if you're from the same spiritual group, it's gonna make sense to you automatically. But if you're not, and you're from different spiritual groups who may not have experienced that life lesson yet, or you experience it but you don't grasp it just yet, so you have to continue to have other experiences, and then you come back to this one. Yeah, it's to test you. It's to see, okay, did it finally stick? Did they finally get the message? And like the heavens are waiting, you know, watching, wondering, are they going to get it this time? The video that's coming to my mind is J Lo created a film. People were talking shit about it, but I loved it. Oh my god! And it's probably because of the connection that we have. In J Lo's film, that was supposedly about her and Ben's coming together, which to some people can look funny, to others it looks divine. It just depends on perceptions, right? There are scenes that Kiki Palmer, so many other celebrities and or stars are in, and they're all representing the zodiacs and stuff like that, the 12 signs. That is what I'm imagining how spirit is watching. The angels are watching us who are also angels. But if you ask me, we are the fallen angels. Not fallen as in like it's a sin and it's terrible. Fallen as in, this is our opportunity. And everybody is not a fallen angel. Some are fallen, some are here sent on assignment. Those are the ones who, they're here in one way and then they're gone in another. Or they're here at one point in time and they're gone. And I don't necessarily mean death, baby. I mean here for a season in your life, do what they're meant to do, whatever that looks like. It could be mischievous looking to some of us. It could look like they were sneaky and serpentine in some seasons. In others, it can look like, oh my God, the whole time this person was doing this on my behalf. Everything still works out for the good of those who are called and selected. Anyway, what I'm suggesting is just like the angels ascend and descend, okay, that's what some of us do. And it is for a time. And though time doesn't look the same way as what some of us may understand time to look like, it is both non existent and it exists at the same exact time. So, I say this to say when it is time for your season in a life to be over, whether it's a physical way or whether it's just a presence kind of way, like we were here, we were friends, we were real close. And then now, some reason we just went this way, and there were no bad feelings, or something terrible happened that woke us up to each other's energy and it was like, oh, we don't actually agree, so we need to go. Whatever the reason, however the awakening occurs, whether it's through separation or whether it is through coming back together, whatever way, it must take place. Moving on. New beginnings are here. It says a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. So I feel like some of us have a decision to make. We've got choices that we got to make. In fact, you may have already been making the choices by prayers and thoughts that you've been thinking. If you've been tapping into the divine source that is within you, whatever means you do so, by the way, um, that is healthy, I think, and that doesn't kill you, right? That really gets you in tune with your source. Player, you. The point I'm making is when you tap into her or him and you get those downloads that ring true to your soul, if you have not been moving on those and acting on those, then I feel like this is what's going to be exposed. And so, all that is happening, whether you feel like this is blowing up your life, yeah, it's to help you. It's to help you live more authentically. And honestly, just even with this season, again, we all got roles that we gotta play. And if you've been an actor or actress that studies, that is true to your craft, you're already on point. You're already aware. And you are going to move and act accordingly. Because now is not the time to play small. And now is like, I don't think that those who I'm speaking to are going to be able to keep doing this. That's the point. Like, this is the energy you're in. Now it's now. It is now, baby. So there's no more pretending like you don't know. And even if you were going to continue to pretend like you didn't know, the way that spirit is about to rock your world, like that Michael Jackson song, the way that spirit is about to rock your world. You are not going to be able to remain in this fake ass ignorance. Sorry, not sorry. Moving on, new beginnings. Because there's a new season that's here. And it's you gotta move into the next act. It's time. And honestly, you've been asking for this. Moving on, freedom. Freedom. My God, today, there is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. There is the choice. There is the choice. Moving on into more, yet more oracle. Which way are we gonna go, guys? We're gonna go over here because that's the end over there on that side. So we're gonna go right through here. So I have a twin flame oracle deck that I was led to pull. And the overall energy that came from that deck is yes. You can't see. Yes. It says the answer to your question is yes. Don't get super excited because this is just the overall energy. And God, I definitely need you to help me break this one here down because, baby, with the other energy that actually came out in the reading, when I tell you I was confused, only the spirit channeling and giving me other ways to understand this helped me. Okay? So, the answer to your question is yes. That was the first card. The second card is the, I'm not gonna try to show this to you. I was, but I'm trying. Forgive or give. Listen, first and foremost, I have been getting this message like so loud. I'm talking from the first time Spirit had me do this reading, not this one, but like another reading, and it came out then to right now, and to messages from television and other readers, and just seeing it all around me. Guys, a lot of us are meant to be in areas where it is a tropical, like literally the candle that I was led to buy from the store, honey. Tropical serenade. There is a tropical experience that some of us will be having. We are meant to have it, okay? So on this picture, there's a couple. The man is looking rather laid back and relaxed. The woman is looking very receptive as well here. The man could be significantly taller than the lady. I don't know. Moving on, I'm just talking about what I see in this card. But there's a palm tree and there is a large body of water. So island energy is here. Or bare minimum, a beach. All right, so tranquility, peaceful mind and heart, freedom from the past. This is what the forgiveness energy is here to do if we choose it. Now, I keep saying I feel like there is a choice here, but I also want to say that there's always a choice, whether the choice is within a connection that is undergoing a cyclical ending in a way or a separation, and now they're coming together again, or if this is in fact the end of one connection that was real and the regenerating renewal or resurgence of a past connection that is going to be like new, or if it is a brand new relationship, but the resurgence, the coming around again of an opportunity to love and to grow and to heal and a new person, like entirely new person. Okay, that is what I'm talking about. That's three different things. Tell me about your understanding of that. Okay, moving on. Healing. It says self care, time out, be gentle with yourself and your twin. So accurate. There's no, it's accurate. I feel the need to say that part because it is evident that sometimes in these connections, we can be so hard on our partner. Like if you're hard on your partner, it's probably usually because you're hard on yourself. And so in taking time for yourself is meant to remind you of the type of treatment that you need and that you prefer. I need you to understand that if you are in fact in a connection with your twin needs that same energy. That's what makes you guys twins. That you are very similar. That you are two peas in the same motherfucking pie. Or like that would be identical. Or you are two peas who shared the same pod in a still separate kind of way, an individualized kind of way. You were there at the same time. So some of you guys got the same messaging, but the way that you may present the messages are different, but they're the same. Take what I'm talking about. Runner energy is what came out actually in response to, all right, God, what's going on? And the runner energy says, escape from emotion and confusion on the run. So this is so I think it's beautiful that they wrote this way because for those of us who might get upset at the person who we feel is the runner at any given time of the connection. And it may be the same person all the time, or it could alternate. And I feel like if you're honest, you'll know that it alternates. Moving on, I digress. A lot of times people are running not because they don't care about you, not even because they don't care about themselves. They are doing it as what they think is an act of self care and self love. This is what they're doing it for. And it's because they're confused. They don't want to feel all the shit that they're feeling. Very Scorpio energy. Again, they be having all the deep ass feelings. And everything comes so strong and all at once. That's what happens with water. You know, sometimes water is taking things away and then it's bringing other things in and da 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 da. That's a lot of shit to have to deal with. And Scorpio energy, that's the shit at the very bottom of the ocean floor or at the riverbed. You understand? That's at the bottom. Depending on how deep the water is, that matters. And how shallow it is, that also matters. But the point that I'm making is they can be deeply affected by so much. Okay. So with that, because with that comes uncertainty and murky waters. Like, let's talk about it, guys. People who you may have a fear of water, you may love water, but you could also be afraid of the water. Well, why are you afraid of the water? For some people, their fear of the water is not being able to touch the bottom. For others, it's like, I can't see what's down there. There can be anything down there. And our mind does this thing where it makes up all these different possibilities, which causes fear, which is another thing that was at the bottom of the deck once I pulled even the bottom three. Fear is here. Lightning, darkness, hesitation, insecurity. But know that you are protected. So for some of us, rain, lightning, very significant, very important. So understand that the person was running because they didn't understand all the information that their emotions provide. And maybe they didn't understand it because even though they were feeling, oh hell no, I don't know what to do with all this. All of this stuff scares me. And because maybe I'm a seeker of perfection, because maybe I'm a people pleaser, right? In some way, maybe I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm just gonna run from this shit. Even if they're right in your presence but not making a decision, that's running. Moving on, because at the end of the day, we got choices to make, and we all have them. And I think that some people don't make choices because they don't feel clear with the information that they got. And I'm not trying to talk, you know, and be like, oh, well, like, be careful, be mindful of them. I'm not doing that. I'm just speaking the facts. And if you're honest, there are times when you've been in a state of confusion where you have not made a choice that ultimately could have potentially hurt someone, whether you intended for that to happen or not. So give grace, give mercy. Fifth dimension is here. Fifth dimension is here. So elements of the universe are significant. Twinkling star, glitter, the colors of teal, purples, whites, blacks, all that can be significant. Now, in the fifth dimension, again, here's that significant height difference, guys. You see this? Significant height difference. It says, and I also feel like you guys, let me show y'all both of these cards because I got to. This card was where the guy is way more relaxed and the woman is also a little bit more receptive. It looks like she's even coming into him, okay? In this picture, you've got the taller figure, the woman looking up, the guy's looking down at her, and she's looking up at him. That is significant to me, guys. I'm talking about significant on a metaphorical maybe level, metaphoric level, maybe even as a euphemism. Guys, whoever this little short lady is, she is powerful as hell, energetically speaking. Okay. This tall ass man, he's striking. He is. There's a uniqueness about him. However, this guy is going to look to her because she is, in fact, the more powerful being here. Even if at first he didn't understand this or recognize this. Okay. Now it feels like he does. And looking to her, but she elevates him with her looking up. It's weird how I'm saying it, but it's like an empowering situation here in both ways. This man feels like he's going to come to her level. He is going to meet her gaze with respect, not this idea of being condescending towards her or making her feel inferior because she is shorter. Not that at all. It is, in fact, baby, you have all of my attention. You have all of my adoration, admiration, and respect and honor. Like, I totally value you now, or I value you, maybe always have. I value you because I see you. I see me, and I know what you do for me. I know now what you do for me. I know that this gaze looking up at me the way that it does empowers me. I know that your love that you gift to me, um, which doesn't have to be deserving, right? It's a gift, but that's what empowers me. This is what makes me strong. This is what makes me knowledgeable. You do that for me. That's what I'm feeling. Let me get this. Intuitive communications. You are connected at a soul level. Yeah, man. This is definitely big on Scorpio energy, like the chemistry, the magnetism that's here, you guys. It is powerful. It's telepathic. It is dreamy, really and truly. Because Scorpio energy is still water, which still deals with the dream. Okay. You know, don't be surprised if you're dreaming about this person or if this person you may find out in conversation has dreamt about you. Maybe there was a very profound, very striking dream that awakens this person, that cuts through their fear. Okay. There's going to be a conversation, I feel like it, and it's going to be a dream. Somebody's going to talk about a dream. Somebody may even talk about, I was thinking about you. I was sending information towards you, hoping that you would understand and that you would feel me. That's what I feel. Moving on, we got community here. Next card out, community. And this is beautiful. This is another town surrounded by water. This reminds me of Greece. So there could be something significant just about the Mediterranean altogether. Like you guys might travel there or something. All right. Or you may find that somebody's living somewhere by water, period. That's what you need to know. Okay. It says friendship, fun, a light heart. Enjoy downtime with friends and family. Now, here's the one that confused me originally. The no card is here. Yes and no are both here. And it says the answer to your question is no. So I'm like, wait a minute. Now, how can we have both of these at the same time? Like, what the fuck? I really feel like for some of us, you've got two ways of life. You've got two people. You've got two ideas that you've got to choose from. Choose in between. And the truth is, the only answers you got are yes and no. Those are the only ones you really, really, truly have. However, if you don't choose either one, that is in fact the answer. And that's the one that usually tends to lead to the same types of connections and situations happening seasonally, cyclically, that you actually don't want to experience. You don't like it. You don't like the way that you've been experiencing it thus far. So, the reason that that is happening is because you are meant to choose. You are meant to choose. You're meant to make a choice. And the way that you can best make this choice effectively, you need to get to yourself and you've got to think about what it is that you truly desire. That fear has got to be gone so that you can make a true choice. For not only yourself, but for everybody that's connected to you. Everyone that's involved benefits when we make these choices in alignment with who we really are in each season of our lives. For some of us, we are the same all season long. and you can bet on it. For others of us, we oscillate, or rather, we vacillate between two decisions. Moving on. All right. Yeah, when I also pulled my actual deck of cards that I use to answer questions, listen, overall energy is an emphatic yes. Emphatic yes. Let me see if I can find if it says anything. Just a little. Not really, though. Yes. And then we still have this no that comes out. So, in essence, I feel like one yes over here is going to be a no to someone else or to another lifestyle or another mentality, right? And a no, likewise, will be a yes in another way. So, take that as need be. Moving on to more of my oracle cards. We have the African goddesses deck, and from that deck, we have Medusa, rage. She is at the bottom of the deck. Rage, rage, absolute rage. This also makes me think about vengeance of the divine feminine babes. I just have to say this, like I do feel like, and I don't even want to just say the divine feminine. I think Medusa was a divine feminine, but this could also be an energy of just a woman that is connected to this reading in some way. So this could also be the other woman. Somebody here, though, is going to have a sense of rage in connection to all of this energy that we're talking about here, okay? Somebody is going to be mad. They may even act out of this rage. It could be a jealous rage, it could be a holy rage. But there's rage here, baby. And where there's rage, to me, vengeance attempts to follow. Let's say that. All right, but I see behind Medusa, I see such a beautiful, the trifecta. Um, Moon energy, female energy, women's energy. Let's look at this card a little bit more, see what else I picked up from here. Guys, again, whoever stays all the way through to the end, this was your message. It was meant for you. All right, we see Medusa here. She's got a lot of snakes, which represent ancient wisdom, Naga energy, beauty, dragon energy, which is, I feel like the dragon energy is one of, if it's not the oldest universal energy, it is one of them. Every ancient civilization, ever one of them, has a dragon totem. Dragon, serpent, alligator, crocodile, leviathan, shit, even behemoth, if you ask me. All of it is connected to dragon energy. No, snakes, if I can say that. But yeah, reptilian energy, mhm, ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge. Mind you, that's power. Knowledge is the power. Information is the power. Wisdom is and always has been the power. And the way that people use it. So, with that being said, all of these civilizations that are tied in some way that have an ancient dragon as the symbol, a lizard, um, even the Scorpio energy is connected to dragon. To me, it would be like the equivalent maybe of water and land. Sorry, I digress. Yeah, but anyway, that's that. There is a huge, it looks like blue snake in the grass. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys this card. Don't know if y'all gonna be able to see what I see, but I'm gonna try to put it as closely as I can. Y'all see that big ass blue ass snake with that flat ass head? And then she's got more snakes of different colors. Still island like, right? There's this landmass, and then there's water surround in the middle of it. Look at Nicole says she's important to get into this connection. There's a vengeance. I don't care what nobody says. There's a vengeance. I just did a ritual this morning as I was on solo today. And part of my messaging and my petition is dealing with holy rage and calling forth swift execution of motherfucking judgment in all the ways that they're meant to happen, righteously so, in truth, in every vibration that exists right now. And it doesn't. I'm asking that this holy rage awaken and do what it's meant to do and expose and all of that, both for myself, starting in my own self, my own temple, my house, myself, and then those connected to me directly from me and partnered with me, and all the way out like a ripple effect. Moving on. The actual two cards that she was saying that came out, Queen Nefertiti. My mother used to wear a necklace of hers, and she also had earrings and a bow. It was like a set that she must have purchased from somewhere. Wish I could find it because I wanted to be so much like my beautiful mother that I remember taking her bows. I remember putting on her necklace and just trying them on. And it's really funny because now that I think about it, symbolically, I realize now that I was carrying the mantle, the energy of my mother too. And I'm not even her oldest daughter per se. I'm her oldest daughter with this particular man that she was with. I have an older sister. But Queen Nefertiti talks about alchemy. Alchemy is all about control. It is about power. Alchemy energy reminds me of the mother and the crone energy, but most notably the mother energy. That's what my spirit team has dropped into my memory. They reminded me that mother energy is that place where you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of information, and it is meant for you to practice using it, to practice, um, yeah, mastering yourself and also guiding in the process. That's mothering energy. Um, it is a raw power that is at that point, like I said, being used in practice. The crone energy is absolute mastery of the self. Now, I believe that that energy can happen. It can happen. I don't feel like it can happen in the baby stages of this life, but I do think it can happen in more youthful energies. I do. Like chronologically youthful, so someone could be 10 with crone like energies to me. So that is a possible thing. But the crone, that's self mastery. That is not only having the knowledge, but knowing exactly how to use it to achieve a desired result. But in essence, energetically, that is reserved for the ancient mothers, the seasoned mothers, the elder mothers. So, anyways, the next card that came out here is Sarah Lakali or Sarah Lakali. That is divine lineage. That is mother, that we come from her. This is that divine energy, the woman. I'm saying this is what I keep getting messages about. This is them. This is the goddess energy. This is Mother God energy, big time. I have been getting this now for months, if not even. I really feel like it's been years because I talked about Mother God and the divine feminine presence of God back, I want to say, in like 2023 or 2024. Set up on Facebook, did a whole live about the mother and how the women are rising and they're going to rise. The future is feminine, the future is woman. Okay. Oh, shoot. Fearless love is what came out in the reverse. I do feel like that's why Medusa's rage is here. I do feel like this is why I keep getting this message about vengeance being mine, saith the Lord, because I'm understanding the Lord to be Mother God and not the concept of Father God. Give me one moment, guys. As I was saying, and not this concept of Father God, that's who the rage is for and from, you guys. This is coming to take vengeance upon both men and women who have harmed the mother by harming her children, both women and actual kids. Okay, because here's what I do know. From the mother comes everything. The man and the girl and the man. The girl is an identical replica of mama, which also is what gives her her power. That's where her divine heritage and lineage comes from. It comes from mama. But also, likewise, so does dad's energy. So does the patriarchy, the patriarch, the male, masculine energy. That also comes from mama. That also comes from mama because in mama is her divine masculine, her divine feminine, and divine masculine essence. This is the reason why, oftentimes, even in the scriptures, not to say that fathers are not teachers, they can be. But the first, the primary teacher, the original, the chief, the top, the first beginning teacher is mama. And that is both biologically speaking and also um, in a physical way. Moms are the first teachers. So, and that unfortunately can be the negative aspect of the thing too. This is why a lot of men fuss and they're like, mamas are problems too. The mama was da, 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 whatever. This is why a lot of men have issues with their mothers because ultimately, mama is the first teacher in one way or another, whether it is indirect, whether it is passive, or whether it is direct. What's the other word? Not passive, assertive. Okay. Moving forward. And so there is vengeance upon mothers who have mistreated children in a way um, that was absolutely malicious. Again, keep in mind though, everything works out for the good, but everybody is still going to get their just recompense. Okay. And it's because of this loss of respect, this loss of love, this indecency, this ridicule, this condemnation, this blaspheming of love. I also feel like poking holes in this way or perforating her, making her distorted is a problem. So I believe that a lot of information is also going to come forth and out about what love really is, how it shows up in this world in the absolute right way. Whatever that is. It may not even be what I think it is, but that message is still the same. And the point of it all is because it's time. The point of it all is because it's the season for this to be made manifest in the earth so that people know. All right. This is all part of the call of this relationship that I'm talking about, you guys. Relationships run everything. Relationships between men and men, relationships between women and women, relationships between men and women. These are the things. Oh, I'm so sorry. These are the things that help, honestly, to shape society. These are the things that help to shape the rules that govern our societies now, which is the huge, this is a big thing. This is a reason why this message is so important, so potent, because the people, the couples, the relationships that are coming together now, these are the elite. These are the chosen. These are the elect of God, Mother Goddess, coming together in the physical, not only the mental, but the physical. Okay. The other thing about this fifth dimension and the telepathy and shit, you guys could have been thinking about each other. Okay. Even if you never have spoken in the physical plane, you've been thinking about each other in such a deep and profound way that still ties you together. Even if you're unaware, you might feel like this person is not even thinking about you. For some of you, that's not everybody's situation. For others of you, you can feel this person thinking about you. You can feel it. Somehow you just know it because that energy is so strong between the both of you. For others, listen, you may feel like you're not thinking about this person at all. Like, hey, I'm not thinking about this person. But in some way, you guys are energetically connected in such a profound way that when this revelation comes in whatever way that it shows up for each and every one of us, you are going to know that what I'm talking about was never a lie. You're also going to know that what you were feeling, the thoughts that you had that maybe you shunned, maybe you brushed them off because you didn't feel that they were real. Whatever the case is, you will know that the entire time you were spot on. With everything that you felt, with all that knowing that you had, you were spot on. Last, but certainly not least, we're going to get the messages from Christ, the Christ consciousness energy. Overall energy says, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." Luke chapter 12, verse 32. What that scripture always tells me is like, you don't have to be afraid to experience this truth, to live in this truth, to desire this truth, to work in your own life, whatever way that work looks to you, to get this thing, this desired end, because that's what the kingdom of God coming out of you is. Okay. So don't be afraid, because don't be afraid to walk in this truth about yourself and walk until you get it, because it says the father, but it's the mother's good pleasure that you should have the thing that you desire. As long as you are pure, as long as you are honest, as long as this is not from a place of not being honest with yourself, from a place of even fear, right? Or malice, that you make these choices to live the ways that you're choosing to live, to do the things that you're choosing to do, to not do certain things. Whatever, the point I'm making is, as long as you are truthful and honest about it, and you are not masking and you are not putting on for anybody else, you will have it. And it's the mother's pleasure to desire to do it for you. Moving on, heal the sick that are therein, and say unto them that the kingdom of God is come near unto you. Luke chapter 10, verse 9. Listen, the purpose of these unions that are coming together right now, partnerships, even, which could just be in business. The other reason that you guys could have two things going on, right? Two energies in you or by you, is because you could have a person, like there are two men here, and if you ask me, and two women. So what I feel, either this is the same energy, so the man is also the same man that you're dealing with, or it's another one, and that woman is still you in both instances. And another understanding of that, I would say that it's two women here, okay, and two men. One is going to be your life's partner, maybe who you shared life with, your children, as far as like having children together, birthing them together. But another one is going to be like a support system, a business partner, maybe even a benefactor. I kept getting that word a lot too, a benefactor. Somebody, though, in that masculine energy will be a support, will be an addition. Okay. So some of you guys could have two men, some of you could have two women. Okay. But you guys are going to figure out the connection, and you're going to respect that shit if y'all are going to work together to build this kingdom, period. Because it's so much bigger than just you and me in the relationship. And friendships are relationships too. Business partnerships are relationships too. Relationships within the community is a relationship too. All right, so the next card after Heal the Sick coming in, which this is important. The sick in all aspects, the mind starting first, then everything else, the body, the temple, okay? Moving on. I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Now let's talk about the end of the world, right? Some of us don't recognize yet and have not yet understood that the end of the world is the end of a season in our lives. The end of the world could literally be from one day to the next. But then it could also be on a macro level, right? The end of a government that we know it, the end of a mental concept as we know it, and then the start of something else. I've also been getting Independence Day, heavy Independence Day shit for me. Mind you, I was led to watch the movie like a month or so ago, and then just within this month, okay, um, there was this cute little thing on, I want to say it was on TikTok, and they were like, um, go and look up the top movie from the year that you were born, and that is going to be the theme of your life. Well, Independence Day for the year that I was born was the top. No, it was not the year that you were born, but it was like 10 years when you were 10 years old. Whew, powerful information too, because tens are endings of cycles for sure. Like nines are the ending of cycles, but tens are the new beginning. Okay, they are the end and the new beginning. Also binary numbers, but I digress. Computers, computing, somehow significant, or physics, very significant to that, but I digress. So when I was 10, the top movie at the time was Independence Day. Independence, freedom energy. There was also an element of binding together, coming together as a unit, working together for the purpose of defeating some type of foe or outside opposition, or was perceived to be opposition. But the point I'm making is Independence Day. There's something about that. And when in that independence was some destruction, though, right? The opposing force was able, the so-called opposing force, was able to destroy some things. And when I think about it, that was judgment to me. That was judgment being executed, and it sucks. It was creepy. It was very scary. I hated seeing so many lives just gone. Here one moment, but just gone. But that is the nature of this life. That's gone from here, but gone, but present elsewhere. Because the spirit doesn't die. It just changes, right? It multiplies. Anyway, but those that remained here, um, there was a reason. I don't know what it was because they don't go further into that. But there was a reason. Oh, right. Now I don't agree that the aliens are the enemies. I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm not fully worked out my situation yet, but I do not believe that the aliens are the enemies to everybody. I'll put it like that. I don't think they're the enemies to everyone. But they might be to some and friends to others. I digress. That is the entire reading, you guys. I really hope and pray that something that was said in this reading truly confirms some things for you so that you are strong in your choice because you do have a choice to make. And yes, the only choices that are always existent are yes and no. And I really want to make a choice and say that it's really either yes or it's really all no, but I can't do that because even if there is really just one, it still gives credence and life to the other choice. So no matter which way this cookie crumbles, and no matter which choice you choose, even in you apparently not making a choice, it is going to lead you to make a choice at some point or the other. And so with making the choice that you're gonna make, it will lead you down a path, either one that you are familiar with and don't like, or one that you are familiar with and you are absolutely okay with the things happening on that. All right, so I'm gonna end the channelings here. Peace, love, light, and darkness, which all work together in balance and harmony first within ourselves and then within our world. Oh my God, the way it is my pleasure. Okay, light flickering. The way it is my pleasure to have given this reading to you. Bye, you guys. If you'd like to connect with me, go to theprettycoach.online. We can connect there. Look me up on Facebook. Let me know in Messenger as much as you can uh, that um, that you found from this reading. All right.